are in the world. I have got a spare 15 minutes and I've just flown the Pavo Pico 2 and the Radio Master Pocket. Yes, your boy has flown the Radio Master Pocket. And I'm here to say that it might have been slightly wrong with the Radio Master Pocket. When paired with a smaller drone like this, the level of convenience is quite unbelievable. And actually, it's not terrible. It's not. I do prefer my bigger radios, but the real star of the show is this Pavo Pico 2. So I never picked up the original Pavo Pico because for the 03 I thought it was just a little bit too heavy and underpowered for what. Pardon me, I'm drinking a coffee. I thought it was a little bit underpowered and a little bit too small prop wise to have enough authority in the air. Obviously, the version 2 comes with either the 04 Pro mount or the 04 Lite mount. Now, I've elected to put an 04 Pro in it for now. I'll probably put an 04 Lite in it as well, just to see what the difference is. The reason why I've elected to do that is we've had, obviously, the Gap RC Darkstar 16. We've had the Sub 250 Dollyfly 16, and they've both flown on 2S. This is also 2S. With an 04 Pro. So it just seemed to make logical sense because I'm going to get questions about the comparison between them. And we'll do a comparison of all three. And this does actually have a couple of things in it that will probably mean, all else being equal, it will probably beat the other two, which amazes me really when I consider how much I like the other two. The other two have a real thorn in their side, whereas this doesn't appear to. Now, I don't know if it's really quiet because it's the middle of the afternoon here in the UK, but I also don't know whether I am actually broadcasting properly or not, because where I am doesn't have an amazing signal. So if there is anybody in the chat, if you could let me know, that'd be amazing. Like I say, I suspect it may be a quiet one because of the time of the day that we are. I think it's going to be about 9 o'clock in Manhattan, isn't it? Maybe 10 o'clock. Only Drones, here he is. Welcome, Only Drones. I'm not sure if that's just come through now, but I've been live for a few minutes, so I'm not sure. But like I said, the signal here is pretty bad. And Only Drones said hi. Hi, Only Drones. Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Well, we'll keep going. So what I was saying before was, I've just flown these two and. Just now. Oh, right. Okay. Well, I've actually been live for 3 minutes, so that would explain why it's been so quiet. Right. That explains it. Okay. So what I was saying was, I've just flown these two, and the Scott, welcome. I hope you're well, brother. The Radio Master Pocket is not as terrible as what I make out. We have a laugh and a joke about it, but actually, where I've just flown is in a really affluent area. You get looks just stopping the car. Like it's one of those types of areas. So the fact that I was able to fly it without any problems, there was an old fella sat on a bench. He didn't pay any attention to it. A couple of dog walkers, zero problems at all. The drone obviously has got a little bit to do with that, but having a smaller controller, it just makes you look a little bit more conspicuous. Although I'm 6'4" and I'm stood in the middle of a wood with a spotter. So, you know, it's probably not that conspicuous, but my point being is, I don't mind the Radio Master Pocket for things like this, but the real star of the show is the Pavo Pico 2. When the original Pavo Pico came out, I'd never picked one up and I never asked for one. Juan says, hi, welcome. I hope you're well. Because I thought it was a little bit too heavy because it had the 03 in it, which we all know is heavier than the 04 Pro. But it also just felt a little bit underpowered for what you was getting, a little bit too small and underpowered and heavy. Beta FPV said to me a few weeks ago, would you like us to send you the new Pavo Pico 2? And I've been having such amazing fun with the Gap RC Darkstar 16 and the Sub 250 Dollyfly 16 that I thought it makes perfect sense. 1 versus 2, what is the difference? Well, I'm going to cover that in the review video. And the reason why I'm going to defer my answer to the review video is because I'm not 100% sure, but I think we've got slightly bigger motors. But what is really important and what is something that I really did want to jump on and say is I've had an amazing time with the Gap RC Darkstar. I've had an amazing time with the Sub 250 Dollyfly 16. This is also a 1.6 inch prop as well. This is also 2S. So performance wise, they should be relatively well matched. The difference is that the flight controller, and I know Only Drones has a real issue with Beta FPV flight controllers, but the flight controller on this has about 4 spare UARTs. The flight controller on both the Gap RC and the Darkstar don't have any spare UARTs, which is why I've not been able to add a GPS to either of them. However, I can add a GPS to this, and we can find out just how fast it'll go. And I know you guys love that, so we'll do that. We'll add some LEDs as well. But yeah, what the actual difference is, I haven't had time to sit down and work it out yet. So I genuinely don't know, but I believe it's got bigger motors, and obviously it's going to be lighter because of the canopy against the 03, and obviously the 04 is also lighter as well. So even if it's got the same size motors, you're looking at a good percent light. Mine was delivered yesterday alongside the blue Radio Master Pocket. Oh wow. It's a starter for my boy. He's going to love it. Honestly, like I said, I've just flown in a really affluent area full of dog walkers, full of people. How can I say this nicely in case anybody here watches? Curtain twitchers is the best way to describe it. And it's like nobody bothered. It was, it was great. And I got some pretty cool footage from it as well. I was able to sort of do flips and tricks under trees, do rolls. I did a matty flip as well just before a couple of dog walkers came. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And these two as a package together, because they are both so small, I can put them in my hoodie pocket and then just stick the goggles on my head and away you go. SB, Stevie, welcome. Glad to catch the live stream. Thanks, Stevie. I appreciate that, mate. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, really shocks me how capable it is, but it probably shouldn't shock me because of the experience I've had with the Darkstar and the Sub 250. Have I got a battery in my pocket? Yes, I do. So these are the batteries that came with it. That's what they recommend. They're the 552S LIHV lavas. I was getting about 3 minutes flight time. Although it's like anything, isn't it? Something so small that's right on the balance level. I can crucify one of these batteries in a minute. So you've got to temper your expectations. You're not going to fly it like a 5-inch, but it's not designed to be flown like a 5-inch. However, you can still rag it around and have a great time with it. When I received it this morning, I was like, and I just got on with it. I did the setup video and I did the build video, because obviously I say build video, it's 4 screws and 4 gummies. And I just thought, and then I thought, well, I'll take it out. I've got a little bit of time. I'll take it out this afternoon. And I'm so glad I did. Genuinely so glad I did. Stevie says, I have the Pavo 20 Pro and that Pocket Crush, but with the upgraded gimbals. You're going to make me get these upgraded gimbals, aren't you? Do they do them in green? Actually, do you know what? To be fair, Benji, welcome. I hope you're well. To be fair, right, I've got these gimbals really tight. That's just how I prefer it, But I didn't at any point when I was flying, I didn't at any point think, oh shit, I wish I had AGO1s in this. Because of, I don't know if you probably can't even tell on a video, can you? But I've got those things tight, man. As I say, that's how I prefer it. Those batteries are out of stock everywhere. I think I got the GNB 550s, so we'll need to mod the tray. Yeah, the tray is probably the only thing I don't like about it, because it's plastic. Just chop it off and stick a strap through there. So just cut them off and put a strap through there. I pan Flywoo for having sort of non-flexible battery packs or battery holders, and I'll do the same to Beta FPV. Beta FPV have been very nice and very kind to me. But at the end of the day, we build the channel on honesty, and if there's something that I don't like, I'll always call it out. What's that? What's what? Only Drones. Buttery smooth. Only Drones. Go and check and see if they do them in green on AliExpress for me. My little my little PA there. The battery tray. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't. I mean, again, because I'm reviewing it, I'll always review it as it comes, and then what we'll do is we'll do another video how to install a GPS afterwards and how to mod that battery tray, because I don't like that battery tray in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, a Lucky Boy, go and see if they do green gimbals for the Pocket on AliExpress. Thanks. Hello, Morty. How are you doing? Stick extensions are the best Radio Master. Morty, where do you get them from? What? Because I keep hearing about this. I keep hearing about these stick extensions, and everyone's like, "Oh, get stick extensions." You'll have to let me know, because I'm quite happy to try them out. We have a laugh and we have a joke, and it's all banter. But I'm not closed-minded to anything. So, I mean, the fact that I picked to fly the Radio Master Pocket today shows that I'm not, I can have a laugh and I can have a joke, but I'm not closed-minded to anything. It's all about having fun. Directly from Radio Master is the only place I've seen them. I'm doing good, brother. I hope you are. Thanks, Morty. I appreciate that. I'm not too bad, actually. I'm still suffering a little bit with the old COVID. I don't know if it's turned into long COVID or what, but I am so exhausted. It's unbelievable. Barbo FPV says hi. I'll have a look on Radio Master's website, Morty, later. Thank you very much for that. Stay well, brother, and stick with us if you can. Only Drone says gold, but no green. I don't want gold. I want green. It's got to be the channel colours. Although I am thinking, Barbo FPV says hi again. Hello. I am thinking of rebranding. But the only problem is I've got somebody that follows me who is green and purple. But I've always wanted to be green and purple, like for the Joker. But the person who follows me is also called Joker FPV. So I don't want it to seem like I'm stepping on anybody else's toes. But I've been wanting to rebrand to purple and green for so long. But then that said, there's no purple shells and there's no green gimbals, so that's not going to help me anyway, is it? So I think there is purple gimbals, though. Must be allergic to the new UK drone reels. Yeah. Oh, mate. Interestingly, I weighed this as well, and it comes in at like 83 grams without a battery and about 110 grams with a battery, so it's going to push you straight over. But nothing's changing when it comes to sub 250 for a couple of years, so I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully in a couple of years I can own my own island in somewhere that has 365 days of sun, and I can make my own rules and fly whenever I want, however I want, and wherever I want. That's the goal, eh? That's the goal. Probably unlikely. Harrell has purple AGO1, or Bardwell has purple. Is that for the Pocket, Stevie? See, purple and blue would work. Purple and blue would look very nice. I don't know. I need to think about this, because I don't want to, on a whim. Bless. I don't want to, on a whim, change, because the problem is I've got all the merch and stuff. So I wouldn't have to change that, but it'd just be a bit weird. I suppose, what's the harm in having a few different colour combos? Drop your suggestions. Boxer T15 Max also. Yeah, the full-size ones are easier to get in different colours. The nano ones are a bit more tricky to get. Drop some ideas in the comments about what colours I should rebrand to. There's purple and green, I think, as one of them. Maybe something like red and, I don't know. It's got to go on a hoodie. But maybe, right? Okay, maybe we can have something like, for reviews it's green and blue. For Gorilla Whoop, no, it's a bit difficult. I was going to say. Then for crashing thing, but no. Just random colours for random days, and then yeah, is what it is. Yeah, the full size ones are good though. I do like the T15 Max. Purple and gold was my school colours. Wow, where did you go to school? That sounds very regal. In fact, a lot of school head teachers were very sort of, what's the word? Monarchalistic. I assume you're from the UK, Moy. I think you are. Most of my head teachers were very, I don't know what the word, monarchist? No, I don't know. But they loved the monarchy, like religious. It was like a cult when I was younger. I'm nearly 45 now. Um, yeah, weird. Anyway, sorry. Oh, Wisconsin, USA. Oh, wow. That's not quite the UK then. T15 Max is my next purchase to upgrade to full size gimbal. The T15 Max, Steve, you will absolutely love. Very German, many immigrants there. Do you know what? I'd love. The thing is, it's not that I'm not patriotic. It's not that I don't love my country, but I'd love to move. I would love to move to the USA. But then you keep electing these fucking presidents that keep just making things harder for drone flyers, people to move in. You know, I want to come over there and be a productive member of society, but it is what it is. Call FPV up. JJ, love my Pavo. Yeah, this is the Pico, JJ. So this is the 1.6 inch version, like the Dark Star and Dollyfly. And I was just saying, like, it's caught me off guard actually how good it performs. But like I say, it probably shouldn't because the other two were so good. Is that an 03 or 04? It's an 04 Pro. Yeah, it's very, very similar. To be fair, if you put them next to each other now with the canopies, because the canopy is essentially the same. If you put them side by side now, the truth is that the only thing that's going to tell them apart now is the size. They look pretty much identical now. But yeah, it's fun. It's 2S, and I was saying earlier, I didn't think I didn't get the original one because I just thought it was a bit too heavy and a bit too underpowered. I'm pretty sure this has got slightly bigger motors, and obviously it's lighter because of the canopy and because of the 04. And it just performs really, really well. The other thing, that controller looks cool. Yeah, my favorite controller in the world is a Radio Master Pocket. Please don't tell him, guys. Please don't tell him. Please don't grass me up. But I need green AGO. I don't have an issue with those gimbals, you know. I really don't. But if I can find green AGO ones, then I'll put AGO ones in it just for you guys, just so that you can abuse me. And I'm going to stand by this, but I want you to abuse me every time I use this controller because of how much crap I've given it, you know, over the years. But yeah, what I was saying, Steve, not Steve, sorry, JJ, is the flight controller on the Beta FPV has got, I think, 3 or 4 spare UARTs, whereas on the Gap RC and the Sub 250, it's got no spare UARTs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the review out, I'm going to do the review, and then afterwards, what we'll do is we'll do a follow-up of how to add a GPS. We'll add some LEDs to it and anything else. We'll do a comparison between this and the Pavo 20 Pro and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's really fun. And where I've just flown is in an area that is easy to get yourself into trouble. As in, the locals are a little bit school. The locals are a little bit. No, I can't say it. I can't say it because I'm outside my son's school. And he tells his school all the time about my channel. So if I start slagging the locals off, I'll probably be in trouble. So no, I don't mean it in a negative way, but it's just such a posh area that flying a drone around it could potentially upset a few people, but nobody paid any attention to it. So it's good. It's good. I was going to save some money and get the 04 Lite. I've got 3 04 Pros and an angry wife already. Well, it does come, Scott, with an 04 Lite canopy as well as an 04 Pro canopy. So the afterlife cast, is that the literal cast of the afterlife? That'd be amazing. Call FPV says, what time is it there? It is 1445 hours. Morty FPV says, FPV is run on wife anger, I swear. Do you know what? I've got an amazing wife. Like, she does my nutting. She annoys me so much at times because if on the rare occasions that she comes out, like, I'll be like, right, I just need to go and fly. I just need to go and then like the huffing and the puffing and women, run, JJ, quick, run, quick. Just tell him it was research purposes. unless you mean the wife, in which case tell her it was research purposes. So yeah, I've got a really cool wife. I really have, and I couldn't ask for any more. She supports the channel, and I said this in a live stream a few weeks ago, but without the support of a supportive partner, I could never do this. This at the minute is virtually a 24-hour grind. Like, if I'm not filming or editing or flying, I'm thinking about filming, editing, or flying. It is virtually a 24-hour. UFOs. All right, squatting quads. Been a minute, mate. This looks like fun. Well, I think we've got about 5 minutes before the kids come out, so we haven't got much longer left, but you are welcome in the chat, and I'm glad you're here. Love the little guys at the moment. Yeah, honestly, I was just saying, like, I can't quite believe how much fun I've had on the maiden flight with the Pico. And like, it's the comparison to the Gap RC and to the sub 250 is going to be very interesting, because as long as the performance stays at the same level as the others, and I haven't tested flight time and all that sort of stuff yet, I think we might have a new sort of 1.6-inch King. New start with Parks. Good afternoon. Welcome. Glad you're here. Morty says, I'm going to start saying I'm sponsored. They gave it to me, baby. I swear. It's funny. I hope Only Drones is still here. 2S and a pusher. Yep. 2S and a pusher, and with an 04 Pro as well, UFOs. I hope Only Drones is still here, because Only Drones and I know a person. I'm not going to say whether they're male or female, but we know a person who did exactly that. And yeah, I just hope Only Drones is here so I don't incriminate myself. But yeah, they did exactly that. They told their missus that they'd been given stuff for free, and then they asked somebody else to cover their arse for them. I don't know that person anymore, so I guess they won't be watching anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it was very interesting. Just be honest. Just, you know, if your missus is not down with it, just say, look, I'll take your makeup away, I'll take your shoes away, I'll take your wine away. And that makes me sound like a bit of an abusive partner, doesn't it? No, you know what I mean. Mate, what happened to the podcast you were getting on? Did I miss it? Off topic a bit. I have been so ill, UFOs. Like, genuinely so ill. My wife's been really, really ill. She's actually at home in bed at the minute. She's pretty much been in bed every day for the past 4 weeks. Take the yoga mat. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, the day we was going to do it, I was starting to come down and feel really ill. And I've still not properly recovered since, but with everything going on with the wife and stuff, and the fact that I like I was saying before, I don't know if this is now what's classified as long COVID, but the sheer exhaustion from any sort of activity at the minute is a killer. So my point is, to answer the question, it's not been done yet. We've delayed it slightly for the time being. I'm going to message them this week, and we're going to try and reschedule it. The wife's starting to feel a little bit better. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So I think we can get it done this week. If it's not this week, then it'll be the end of next week, because I've got to go on my driver retraining course next week, or as we call them in the UK, a speed awareness course, because I got done for speeding. New Start says, love to Mrs. Quads, get well soon. Yeah, it's been a difficult one. It's been a really difficult one. Like, I've been asleep at 9 o'clock at night, or 10 o'clock after the premieres most nights. The one night when I dropped a premiere during the day, I was asleep for about 8 o'clock at night. I was so tired. Sounds like long COVID, mate. Much love. Nasty business. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, mate. We'll see how it goes. But we've both had COVID, and she's a little bit more wiped out than me. But I mean, it's a difficult one. We'll just have to see how it goes. Fingers crossed it doesn't last much longer. But the breadth of symptoms is unbelievable. But yes, I will be on my podcast at the end of next week at the very latest. Yes, I got done for. Do you know what? I was half tempted to take it to magistrates court, because first of all, it's the first ever speeding offence I've got. But secondly, I got done for 35 miles an hour in a 30 zone. Now, fine, I was speeding. However, I was always under the impression, and this was not, let me just clarify this, I was not deliberately driving at 35 miles an hour because of this, but I always thought the rule was, it was 10% plus 2. So 10% plus 2 takes it to 35 miles an hour. So I'm not sure why I got a ticket, but that said, I've accepted it. I'm going to go on the driver retraining course. I'm going to sit there for 4 hours being told, you're a naughty boy, stop speeding, or you'll die. And then that'll be it. So, well, yeah, also it cost 98 quid. Yeah, yes, it is 10% plus 2. I don't know why. I don't know why I got a speeding ticket then. I've got to be honest. That's definitely the rule. Well, I'll sit there and I'll angrily tut and just look very grumpy for 4 hours and occasionally say, I shouldn't be here, shouldn't be here. So 10% plus 2. Mind you, I think the camera said I was doing. Depends on the police force. Ah, okay. That would make sense. I think the camera said, because I've got the picture, I've actually hung it up in my living room. It's like the Louvre. I think I've been driving. I worked out the other day, I've driven for about 400,000 miles, and it's my first ever speeding ticket, and I've driven all across Europe. So, you know, it happens. And like I say, it wasn't deliberate. It was on a bank holiday Monday. I was coming from a 60 to a 30, and I thought I'd scrubbed off enough speed before I got to the camera, and I just hadn't done, and it's just one of those things, you know, mistakes happen. But I always thought it was 10% plus 2. But it did say 30.1 miles an hour. So are they classifying that 0.1 miles per hour over that rule as why I've been given a ticket? Only Jones is back. I was definitely not impersonating Sonic. No, it's but do you know what? Like I say, I'll complain about it, I'll moan about it, I'll whinge about it, but at the end of the day, broke the rules. I've got to pay my 98 quid. I've got to go and sit there for 4 fucking hours and be told I'm a naughty boy. And that's just what's going to happen, isn't it? Whether I like it or not, that is what is going to happen. But I will ask the question, and I'll come back here. I think it's next Wednesday. Or maybe next Tuesday. Let's hope I'm not late. Well, let's hope I'm not early for it. Let's hope I don't speed there and get too early. No, best not. So yeah, I'll come back and I'll let you guys know what they say. Because what I'll do, I don't know if you can record these things, but I will. I'm going to angrily ask, do you know who I am, kid? Why am I here? And see what happens. I'll play it up a little bit for you guys, and then I'll come back here and I'll have a chat with you and I'll show you the footage. God, I'm probably going to get arrested. Also, I've been speaking to people today, and only Drones knows about this, but we are aiming to go to China in 2026. So I also need to try and avoid diplomatic incidents there as well as trying not to get arrested for saying, do you know who I am, to a police officer. But, you know, it's que sera. You've got one life. You've got to enjoy it. You've got to have fun. You've got to live it. And do you know what? I could never live a boring, miserable life. I just couldn't do it. I just could not do it. But it'd also be nice if we could try and somehow get to America and China in 2026. That's, yeah. I don't know how I'm going to do it physically, financially, emotionally. But if you don't have goals, you've got nothing to aim for. Is that like Ronnie Pickering versus cycling? Do you know who I am? Ronnie Pickering. Who? Yeah, that's a blast from the past. That's 20 years old now, that. But no, New Start, what I do is I do videos where people leave a negative comment, and then I'll go out and I'll prove them wrong. So they'll say, you can't do this. And I'll be like, do you know who I am, kid? And then I'll put the footage up that I've actually done it. So just take all the HTX recording and radio and play those. Perfect. Philip. Good morning, all. I'm really sorry, Philip. And it's not you, it's me. But I am going to have to go because they're about to open the doors to the school where my child is about to leave from. Listen, you've all been absolutely incredible. I didn't think anybody would join me at this time in the afternoon, so I'll have to do it more often. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll put some footage up of this drone later on. It's been incredible fun. I love these live streams, and I'm going to try and do as many of them as I can, but the whole long COVID thing is properly kicking my ass at the minute, so bear that in mind. And what I'll try and do is I'll try and set up a live stream on my driver awareness course. I'll probably get arrested for that, so probably better not. But yeah, it's been amazing. Listen, thank you all so much. FPV Freestyle, I'm really sorry, I'm just closing the live stream. But thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate and I love each and every single one of you. Until next time, peace out, everybody.